all in this together. Make this world better.
Hello there everyone, this is Jolitabrilliant Health and Lifestyle Coach, and this is Tim Van Orden. Thank you so much for running with me today, and we've been running with Mike Constein and a few other great runners and
bunch of fruity people.
It's really nice. We have a lake here and little hills. So anyhow, I would like to ask you, how did you got into running, and what are you up to right now? What's your goals in running? A little bit more about that.
I got into running. I hated running. It's not something I ever enjoyed. In fact, most sports see running as a punishment. Like when you're playing soccer or football in other parts of the world, they make you run for punishment, or basketball, they make you do laps. And running is generally kind of painful and lonely. You're out there doing it by yourself. It's not a team sport, so it's never something I saw myself doing. But when I started eating a raw diet, I had all this energy that they tell you you're going to have. You feel more energetic.
Abundance of the food.
Yeah, it's like, what am I going to do with it? And I started running because I didn't know what else to do, and it was miserable at first, and I'll admit that. It wasn't fun, but I've been running now for a little over 6 years, and it's completely transformed for me now. I love it. I look forward to it every day. It's the one thing that I know is going to make me happy every day. Like, no matter what's going on,
it's your relaxation, your release, your way of dealing with life.
It's my way of being in life.
Yes.
It's my way of connecting. So I think culturally, you have people that like to run, and that's a very small percentage of the population, but they like to suffer, they like to compete. There's this, I'm a runner and I'm dominating myself, or I'm dominating the weather or the hills or whatever it might be.
I want to get like recognition.
Yeah.
You know.
But for me, it's not that. What I learned, the reason that running is hard is because you have to face yourself.
You're racing mostly with yourself, not with other people.
Yeah, or just the training. You train a lot more than you race. So when I go run 2 to 3 hours a day by myself in the woods, I just have me as company. And most people don't like themselves, and I didn't like me either. So, when you're alone with yourself for a long period of time, you're bored.
You grow a lot too.
Yeah, it changes you.
Yes. This is a good thing for people to know who is right now they hate running, and because you just gotta start doing it, and once you change your diet, you get the willingness. And exercise is actually fun. You look forward. It's much better than eating a cake to numb down your feelings, or drink, coffee to get energy. Just go for a run, half an hour, and you are refreshed.
But there's a transition period to get there.
Yes,
It's not easy to start. But people allow themselves to start, and the trick is allowing yourself to be gentle.
Yeah.
Like, I see so many people, like on the run we did. It was very hilly. There were very big hills.
Very hilly.
And I was
like up the hill, whew.
Very steep hills too. And I listened to people's breathing, and most of the people were going too fast because they're breathing too hard.
I think I was going too fast.
You were going too fast. You're breathing too hard.
Yeah.
And you need to allow yourself to go slower. Allow yourself to enjoy it more. People think that if I'm running, I have to be breathing hard, I have to be suffering, it has to hurt, and that's just not true.
Yeah.
And that'll discourage you from, continuing with the
I think
sport,
that's the golden advice.
Yeah, just be gentle, be kind, make it something that you enjoy, and if that means running for 100 yards and then walking for 100 yards, that's okay.
You have to have fun.
Yeah.
It's for the enjoyment.
Yes.
And what is your goals right now? What are you training for, or what project are you working on? You have running raw.
Yes, I do.
So maybe you could tell a little bit more about that.
Running raw is an experiment I started 6 or 7 years ago now. I forget because time just goes by so fast.
Okay.
To demonstrate what was possible as an athlete, a runner, on a raw vegan diet. And the experiment has gone very well. There were some bumps initially, but you know, I learned how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, how to train. Had to swallow
Trial and error.
Trial and error, you know, and mostly the biggest trials and errors have been with my own personal ego. You know, overcoming that, dealing with that.
Right.
So I've had a great deal of success, and now I've won 8 national championships.
Wow.
So I think the experiment could be called a success. I don't think I really have anything to prove. It works.
Running raw.
Yeah, but
You can do it. Fruitarian low-fat diet has been proven. It
Yeah.
can be winner.
but you need to allow yourself some flexibility there as well, because your stress levels will change, your training levels will change, and for some people it's very, very mentally stressful to adhere to a particular plan of diet. So give yourself some wiggle room,
Yes.
you know?
Did you had any health challenges at all? How is your recovery time like changed going raw and?
Well, you know, there are many factors that work into recovery. It's mainly stress, reducing stress, and for most people living in North America, the primary stressor in their life is their diet.
Yeah.
So when you move to a cleaner diet, a more efficient diet, you're significantly reducing the amount of stress that you're experiencing. So that is going to improve your performance, it's going to shorten your recovery time, but there are jobs that are very stressful, there are relationships that are very stressful. I'm an insomniac, so I don't sleep well, so
How
that's
many
very
hours
stressful.
a night do you sleep?
Oh, I don't know. I'm up just about every hour of the night. I might get 10 minutes of sleep per hour or something like that.
Wow.
But that's stressful. And that, you know,
But I
things
noticed
can
many
change.
successful people have trouble sleeping. I don't know what's the correlation with it.
Well, you know what it is? I have a lot on my mind. I'm
Yes.
doing research constantly. I'm learning constantly, and there's a lot of things that I want to work on. I'm working
I
on
see.
books and projects and seminars, and it's hard to turn the mind off when you're excited
Yeah,
about
but
things.
you know, we live one life, so I think it's better to live exciting life and do as much as you want, as much as you can, instead of saying no, I can't do it.
It'd be
No
nice to have
matter-
both. It'd be
yeah.
nice to be able to chill
Yeah.
sometimes and
Yeah.
then be passionate in
Yeah.
others and balance them out. I've got to work on the chill part.
I see.
I'm looking at the beachfront down there. It looks very enticing.
It is. Well, maybe I'll show later for the viewers. But okay, so but for me, I watch your videos on YouTube. Your channel is called Running Raw,
Nothing wrong.
so you can go check that out. Subscribe, and I find that your videos, because I watch sometimes other runners or educators, mostly like people who are right too. It seems like you have that peace. You didn't appear to me like you would be stressed, because your videos are always very well thought and like very profound and deep in teaching.
Thank you.
So I don't know, like it's interesting that you said that you don't have that, you know.
Well, do you know the Buddhist teacher Pema Chodron?
This particular one, maybe I've heard of it.
She's a teacher,
Uh-huh.
and her philosophy is move towards the places that scare you. Go towards the places that scare you.
Yeah.
Go to the thing that challenges you the most.
Yeah.
And I could have a cushy job, and I could have a nice house, and I could just go through life buying things and eating things and having fun with people. But I opened Pandora's box when
Yeah.
I went raw and I started running, and my brain started working in a way that it hadn't worked before, and I'm more curious
Your
now.
consciousness changes.
It does, and
Your
I
brain changes.
I'm not afraid of the things that are difficult anymore.
To
I move
face
towards-
yourself,
Yeah.
your own inner fears and doubts, beliefs,
And that's a lot of hard work, and that's stressful.
a lot of like cooked food diets, they just numb you down and you don't really think about life. You see even trees, you see people differently, I guess. Well, it doesn't mean you're a bad person, you know, but you're just not as, I guess, connected to that source, the nature itself. Because when you eat the live foods, you kind of get connected to the source more, right?
Well, hopefully, and it's, you connect to yourself.
Yes.
Or you don't. Some people run away. Some people can use a raw diet to just create
They-
another
yes.
layer of ego.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of fighting in the raw community if such a
Yes.
thing exists.
And some people can't do raw food diet just because of the spiritual reasons. They can't deal with their own feelings that come up. Or they can't deal with the society anymore, It's like
Yeah.
they start to... They become different than...
Well, they become islands, and
Yes.
that can be stressful as well.
Yeah.
Like my community that I can speak with and communicate with is not in the real world. They're in other places, but I can connect with them via Facebook or YouTube. But I don't have people around me
Yeah.
that I can relate to anymore. So that is another source of stress.
Yeah.
Like, where are my people?
Yes, yes.
It's hard to find
Yeah.
people that are interested in eating a clean diet, that are interested in challenging their bodies.
Hopefully the
and-
number's growing, but
I
still...
hope so, yeah. But in the meantime,
yes.
it's a challenge,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
And so what is your future running goals?
Sorry, we're in the middle of an
running-
interview. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. What is your future running goals? What are you training for right now? Do you train for any...
Right now, I'm training for my first 50-kilometer race.
Your first 50 kilometers?
Yeah, regardless
Is this
of...
the biggest one?
I've done, marathons. I haven't done a 50K. I haven't wanted to. I don't even like marathons. For some reason, people think that if you don't run marathons, you're not a runner, and that's just
I see.
ridiculous.
Okay.
Because in the shorter races, we run faster,
Uh-huh.
so it hurts more.
Yeah.
And the longer the race, the slower you go, the less it hurts, but the pain is extended over a longer period of time. So
So-
I'll do a 50K and then a 50-mile coming up, just to demonstrate that the diet also works for longer distances, and then put it together.
Is this running raw? Is this you come up with this idea, or is there any other people involved in this, or this is that you are the only one person?
Initially, I wanted it to be a huge movement, a group
Uh-huh.
of people, but I'm not a great community organizer. I'm not the person that
You
delegates.
need
And
a
I
manager.
need the manager, yeah. So it's just me, and I never wanted it to be just me.
Uh-huh.
I think it's unfortunate that it's just me.
I think
I
so
would much
too.
rather have a group of people.
But we
doing this.
we have though people who are raw that we run today. Maybe they want to join.
Well, we were running raw today. We were.
Yeah.
We're out there.
So we did running raw.
We're all running raw here.
Yes. Oh, nice. Could you explain a little bit more? So, what is the short distance running and what is long distance running?
Well, I compete in as many different running sports as I can, because each one of them is a different audience, and I'm
Okay.
trying to build as big an audience as possible to reach. When I first started the project, you have people that are in the spiritual New Age community, you have people that are in the vegan community, a vegetarian community,
Yes.
and they will come across raw foods in their experience. But athletes, that's a huge group of people.
Yes.
It's not a small niche. It's,
Oh yeah, it's
huge.
worldwide.
So by
It's Olympics, everything.
exactly by taking the diet into that arena, there's
You're
the potential to
exposing
reach
so
a lot more
many
people.
people
Yes,
with it.
much greater exposure.
And when you win, it's exactly then everyone's interested. But
And they know who you are, and I wear my Running Raw shirt that says "Powered by Raw Food" on the back, and they always, if they're behind me in the race, they're reading that the whole time.
it gets
And
into
then
the consciousness.
it does. They ask questions, and they pick on me for what I eat, but then they also want some. But
They see you with your bananas here.
yeah, or my green smoothies. I usually
Yes.
show up to a race with a green smoothie. It's my pre-race fuel.
Nice.
But as far as short versus long, I do stair climb races, which are the shortest, and that's where we run up these stairwells of skyscrapers
Oh,
at
wow.
the Empire State Building.
That's fun.
It's not fun.
No?
That's the most
Sounds
that's the
like
most painful of all of them. It's
Oh
the
my
worst.
goodness.
And then I do snowshoe racing, which those races tend to be shorter too because they're much harder because you're running through deep snow and you've got heavy snowshoes on and it's very cold. So there's a stair climb community that they know who I am.
Didn't realize it was so different.
Yeah, there's so many different ways. So I hit the stair climb groups, I hit the snowshoe groups, I hit the trail running groups, I hit the road running
wonderful.
groups. And then within the road running groups, you've got the short distance people, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. Then you've got the marathoners, then you've got the ultra runners, and each one of them is a different community of people.
Nice.
So by doing as many types of running as I can, And by doing as many distances as I can, I'm reaching a larger and larger audience. And that's really, and I want to show each one of those groups that the diet works.
Yes.
Because people think, oh, you've proven yourself as a runner, but no, because not everybody runs that particular. If I am a U.S. champion at 10 kilometers, well, what about the people that don't run 10 kilometers? They have no idea.
Yeah.
So now I've got to run the marathon. Okay, now they know. Well, but they don't know about, stair climbs. So now I've got to win that.
You're doing this for the greater purpose, to spread the message. You kind of just basically sacrifice.
Yeah, you could look at it that way. Sometimes it feels like a sacrifice, but it's really not.
It's not.
I don't know what else I would do.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not doing it for the personal glory. It's really, really exciting to me to see somebody get it.
It is. Because me too. When I got into this lifestyle, I had to start educating people and to spread the message. I couldn't, because if I know this knowledge, I felt that I would be selfish if I didn't share this information. So what do you said you do green smoothies before races. Is there any particular you add to the green smoothie?
Yeah, it's pretty basic. It's kale, half a blender full of kale, then blueberries, bananas, dates, and water.
Nice.
And that's my standard go-to green smoothie.
Nice. And are you every day also about the same? You do also green smoothie and then you
that's my first thing every day is green smoothie. It's my wake up.
Great. Is there anything else you would like to share with?
Well, you just brought something up that you said you feel selfish not sharing the information, and I completely understand that. I felt the same way. It's like you've been given this great gift and you want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
But over the course of the 7 years, I've learned that the more people I tell, the less they listen.
Yeah.
So now, instead of going to them,
I
I let them come to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the races, but they don't know me as the raw food guy anymore. They know me as Tim,
Mm-hmm.
or they call me TiVo. That's what I'll run. For some reason, the running community, I'm known as TiVo.
Wow. Okay.
But they treat me as a runner now because I've stopped talking about diet. But they'll run with me. They ask me questions about diet. I'm happy to answer their questions, and they always ask me questions. But I don't go to them and say, "Oh, you're drinking a Coke before the race? Oh, that's the phosphoric acid, the this, the that." I don't do that anymore because when I started doing that, they didn't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh,
people
leave us
don't
alone,
like
freak."
You talk like that, and I'm not doing that too. Even for my close people, that I know, they know what I do, and if they want to ask me, go ahead, you can ask me, and that I make videos. If you want, you can come and listen, but I will not tell you, you have to come and do this and what you're doing, what you're eating, because at the end of the day, I still think the person is more important than what you eat. And you can eat anything, and it doesn't make you better or worse. You are as good person, but the thing is that you might run a risk of getting a disease and dying, and you might not be as happy by eating sad diet, but you still the person comes first, and then comes what you eat.
You attract more bees with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yeah.
And if when you comment on someone's diet without them asking, you're telling them they're wrong.
Yes.
And nobody wants to hear that.
You're putting them down.
Even if it may be accurate, they don't want to hear that they're wrong.
Because they think they're doing a good thing, But by living by seeing you doing, they might, start to think, well, maybe I should try that, or this looks kind of interesting.
But the difference is, what I've learned the hard way, that if I just win the races as a raw vegan, okay, they respect me as a runner, but they still think I'm a freak.
Mm-hmm.
So what I had to do was show them that I'm human like them.
Yes.
That I'm not this ideological.
Yes, that you are the same.
I'm one of the guys.
Yes.
And when I showed them that I was one of the guys and I stopped talking about diet, that's when they really started listening.
Exactly. And I think it's important. People need to see that we are the same people. We used to eat also cooked foods, and about how profound fruits and vegetables is, and you can never have too much of them. You know, everyone knows vegetables is healthy for you, so it's impossible to have too much of them, of healthy things. So why not to eat all the time them? You know, they're good for you. So so that's important, you know, not to force people and just live by example.
Well, you can't force them.
Yeah, definitely.
They'll fight back.
They will fight back.
They do fight back.
Yeah, and
Even if you're trying to help them, they will fight back.
exactly, because it's too, you know, it's very personal thing. It's very deep thing.
And cultural.
People, yeah.
You come from a different culture than I do, so the people in your culture are going to see food one way, the people in my culture are going to see food a different way, and sometimes an entire culture says, no, we are never going to eat that way because that's not what our culture does.
Yes.
And that's a challenge.
It's hard to change that mindset that you are not attached like by some cultural. So you don't have to do what your, you know, mom tells you. I mean, be good to your mom, or your family, but you know, you have to understand what's better for you.
Yeah? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we are filming the video.
The guys in the golf cart there might be able to help you. Yeah, go up and ask the people in the golf carts. You edit these, right?
Yeah, I will cut this out.
Yeah. Because that was such a great thing to have in there.
Okay. Well, so I think that's what we all gotta do, you know, we just gotta live our example,
Let me know if you take
what
it so I know
we
if
do, and we can mention, you know, our diet, but we should, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to help people, only those who want to learn, and those who ask questions. Somebody's not interested, not, you know.
You got a guy? You got
Well, so
Good.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And
You gotta look for a spot.
runningrock.com. Check it out.
Jolitabrilliant.